welcome. Sorry, welcome. It's Kate's Kitchen Party, and I just wanted to welcome you all to the Brockville Public Library, where they've graciously let us set up our table for today's show. Today, I want to welcome two very special guests from the St. Lawrence College, and I'm going to give you guys a chance just to introduce yourselves. Tell me a little bit about you and what you do at the college.
I'll go first.
Okay.
My name is Jodie Macquisten. I'm the program liaison for CICE, which is the short version of a very long name for a program. So it's Community Integration Through Cooperative Education. So as program liaison, I'm kind of like the guide on the side for students. So I help them through their application process and their journey through their 2 years with us.
That's a really rewarding thing to do, right? To help people integrate and to follow them through their curriculum for the full 2 years. And you get to see them like grow in those 2 years. That's very cool.
I feel very privileged, actually, because it's in line with my educational background and with my personal values. I love supporting students in need and who need the extra support. So yeah, it's a feel-good job for sure. And over 2 years, I get to see a beautiful evolution of students. They come in unsure of themselves. They kind of start off as a little bud. And over 2 years, you kind of watch them blossom
very cool.
by the end.
Very cool. Well, they're lucky to have you.
Thank you. I hope
and
so.
We also have...
My name's Jason Smellink. I'm about a 5-year ongoing learning specialist at St. Lawrence College, Brockville. Started the program initially first by bringing my brother into seeing the program, as I have a brother who also has a developmental/intellectual disability. And it was quite a rewarding process for him to attain a certificate in the program. Also just nice to provide assistance to other individuals as well in the college.
That's amazing. So. Very cool. So is there... Well, I guess we'll take a step back for a second. I want to talk a little bit about like who you are and what your ties are to Brockville or to the community. And, you know, Jodie, how long have you been in Brockville?
Well, I'm originally a Montrealer, an English Montrealer who moved here in 2011. I came to support my in-laws, and I was searching for employment when I came, and I was very lucky and started as a learning specialist on the Kingston campus, and I was there for 2 years. And then when the program was launched in Brockville, I was the lucky one who was selected to bring CICE to Brockville in 2014, and then I helped support it move down the highway in 2015 to the Cornwall campus. So it's such a wonderful opportunity for students who maybe don't have this opportunity in other cities. Like it's only in about 13 colleges out of 24. So it's a rare opportunity in Ontario.
That's very cool.
Like it's not even in Ottawa. So
Wild.
For St. Lawrence College to have it, like I'm very proud that they have it, and I'm very proud that they have such an inclusive model of this program, because it doesn't look the same in the 13 different colleges. Some of the programs are mainly just core CIC classes where they're not really integrated, whereas our programming is half the programming is core CIC classes, and the other half are our students get to select elective courses in mainstream courses. So they're integrated with learning specialists into the class, so they get individualized supports.
So it's all about accommodation, really. It's all about...
And modification.
That's
so
really great. That's a really... So you know this about my family. Jason, I don't know if you do, but my son is on the autism spectrum. And right now we're also having my daughter screened for autism as well. And they have a lot of trouble in class. They struggle. Not to say that other kids don't also struggle. I think that is very much a universal thing for kids. I remember struggling a lot when I was a kid. But to have those, you know, as you get older, autism is not something you grow out of. There's a lot of learning disability. These are not things that just suddenly go away when you turn 18. And to be able to have those supports in place for people with developmental or intellectual disabilities at the college level so that they can be in a mainstream program is absolutely amazing. It gives me a lot of hope, really, because I don't know what the future will hold for my kids, right?
Right.
Yeah, and you talked about your brother. That. What was that like for him?
Great for him. I think it just gave him the opportunity that he could go to college, seeing myself and our sisters also going to college. So feeling at first, him feeling like he was left out, not being able to do that, to have an opportunity to go to college, be part of in-class discussion, not being segregated, integration has been, quite rewarding for him. And then even after now, getting him to have work out with other community supports has been quite rewarding as well too.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's really cool. And what are your ties to Brockville? How long have you been here? A long time?
My family and we've been in Brockville for about 15 years.
Okay.
Originally from Iroquois, small town Iroquois. Before I became a learning specialist, I was a community support worker with community involvement. Through that, had brought a few people that had support in the community to see a few, just to see Jodie about
some information sessions.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's part of the application process, so they need to attend an information session as part of their
cool. So they get that in person right from the onset. They're in person and they're engaged, and it's a lot of opportunity for them, because again, and I'm just speaking from experience with my kids and their particular challenges, but there are a lot of social challenges for them. Not always understanding how those relationships work with other people in their age group, and again, not just saying it's them, it's all kids, right? They're all learning, they're all developing at their own rate. But to have that engagement in person right off the bat is really incredible. Really, it invites them in, right? It makes them feel a part of it right from the onset.
Yeah, and we really try to support their academic independence and their social independence. Yes. Maybe you could speak more to that.
So we have usually once per week, like social society, where students get to just either meet like in a room where they can, chat with one another. And then there's also just community activities as well, going to the movies, or even in the college, like pub nights as well too. We encourage our students to go and meet other students as well. And 9 times out of 10, they always come back the next day or the next time they meet you that they've got a story about what happened on pub nights, etc. So
I'm sure those stories are always great.
maybe not.
That's awesome.
The student government, they set up lots of fun stuff for our students. So they've got dance nights as well, and they bring in guest speakers, and they do nights against procrastination, and they bring in like therapy dogs. And
that's awesome. Yeah. I want to meet the therapy dogs.
I
need to get the information for them, because I can have them on my show, and then I can just pet dogs for half an hour. So I guess my next question, what are some of the things that the community can do, maybe to help support or encourage or help grow this process? Anything that Brockville at large could do to help get engaged?
Yeah, so it's a rare opportunity for students that they don't have, like, there is something after they're 21.
Yeah.
So, and that's what a lot of parents don't realize, is there are other opportunities out there. However, our applicants do need to be independent, because we are an academic program. We provide supports in class and tutoring, but our students don't have the one-on-one supports during their breaks. We don't provide transportation to college or to placement, so our students need to be independent enough to be okay on campus on their own and to get to their placement sites. That being said, they don't start placement independently. We provide support on their first day at placement, and if they're struggling, we do provide job coaching. Our learning specialists will go and support our students at placement if they're struggling, but for the most part, it's they do need to be independent and have a willingness to be part of the program. So it is 2 years. And they get a certificate at the end. and some people wonder why it's a certificate, because it's a 2-year program. Usually that's a diploma. Well, it's because it's a lighter workload. So mainstream would be anywhere from 6 to 8 classes in a semester, and our students take 4 classes with a placement experience.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, how
Yeah.
do you find the placements? How is that you that organizes that, or is it somebody
So
else? Or?
yeah, there's a learning specialist on our team that finds placements for our students, and it's very student led. So we ask our students for their top choices, and we try to find those placements in the community for them. And even if we don't have specific programming, for example, we don't have a vet assistant, but our students could still have a placement experience working with animals. We've had students work in pet stores and doggy daycares and vet clinics and stables. So there are lots of opportunities for students to get new skills. We've had students working in Tate's Bakery, for example, even though we don't have the culinary program.
Yeah.
So very, very much student-led. They get to select their elective course options. So those would be courses in like the business program or in police foundations or in general arts and science, mental health and wellness, what other business.
Pretty much anything that they can dream of, really, to get those placements in and get that work experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be skill specific either, because really when you're in that work environment, you're applying yourself. Regardless of what you're doing, you're still learning skills, right? You're still learning, you're still being challenged, you're still meeting people. There are different ways of learning that don't have to be specific to a skill set, right? So I think it's really cool that you guys are opening up the different avenues for them and letting them kind of guide their own curriculum in that sense.
Well, it's wonderful that way, that it's so student-led. The main goal of the program is to get them ready for entry-level jobs in the community. That being said, we do try to meet the goals of our students. So if it's possible, it might be they want volunteerism, or they want an entry-level job, or they want the college experience, or they want to develop networks and make friends in the community.
That's really cool. What was the placement that your brother did, out of curiosity? Do you remember?
He did a placement at Iroquois Public first semester. He did a placement at the Brockville Y. And it was made, like, for him, he wanted to gear towards like child and youth work when the program was available at St. Lawrence Brockville. As he had seen, because that's where my background was.
So you inspired him.
Yeah.
Motivated him. That's really nice. It's really, really nice.
But now he's got a job at 3M at the Tate plant, so,
good
which
for
he's
him.
really enjoying too.
Yeah,
It's
that's
been
amazing.
rewarding for him.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to thank Jason for coming on.
You're welcome.
I really enjoyed talking to you. Jodie's going to be back, and we'll be back shortly.